Welcome back to the next instalment on the TT. We're going to get through a lot in this video, just ticking off things that need to be put in place for the MOT. So I'm going to start with checking off our list over here and then get into what we're going to do in this video. So I'm going to fit the new ball joints. I'm going to paint the underside, all the arms and that are rusty, and I want it to look presentable for the MOT test. That, you know, every little helps to get it through. What else have we got? I've got to try and find where this oil leak is coming from. So fingers crossed we find that. And so, brake lines complete. Oil leak, we don't know yet. Bushes, not going to change, so I'll just put an X for there, just in case we have to end up doing it. Induction kit, bosh. To be done, see you later. What I'm going to add on is clean and paint rear arms. It's very corroded back there, so I'm going to wire brush it and paint it so it looks half decent. Bushes, CV boots and bushes I'm not going to worry about, because there's no knocks or bangs or creaks. Might have driven her, and it all seems solid, so I'm not going to fix what isn't broke. And if it comes up on the MOT, we'll swap it. So that's what we're going to do with that. Happy? Oh, also, tyres on the way. Okay, so we're going to have a go at fitting these new ball joints. I figured, because it's been sat a while, those rubbers will be quite brittle. So I want to replace them for longevity, basically. And also, they go on a 3-pin. It's not like a conventional arm with the ball joint that screws onto a thread at the end. So it should be quite easy to take them off. Famous words there. So, idea is, take the bolts off from underneath, jack up the disc with that in between, so it doesn't leave an impression on the disc or damage the disc. And then by lifting that with the bolts, the nuts off, the bottom arm should just pop out because of the weight of it. That's what I'm hoping for. So let's give it a go. So I've soaked the nuts and that top bolt with penetration fluid. So whilst that's soaking in, I'll walk you through the nut sizes. So the lower underside nuts are a 17mm, if you can see that, and the higher one is an 18mm, which is that one. So we're all set. I'll try and loosen them off now and see how we get on. So I've soaked the nuts and that top bolt with penetration fluid. So whilst that's soaking in, I'll walk you through the nut sizes. So the lower underside nuts are a 17mm, if you can see that, and the higher one is an 18mm, which is that one. So we're all set. I'll try and loosen them off now and see how we get on. Okay, cheeky inspection. Let's get some WD on there, clean it off a little bit. So it's probably all right, to be fair, but you never know with these things. Oh, hang on, see a little crack there, which I've now made dirty again. You see that? Just on the edge there. So yeah, worth changing. Right, the car's testing me a little bit, and so is my footage. I made a massive boo-boo. So what happened was I used Google Drive to back all my footage onto, and I maxed out my space, so I had to delete some footage. I had duplicates upon duplicates as well, which didn't help, so I've been a bit more organised from now on. But what's happened is I've deleted some footage from spraying, sanding and polishing the side seal protectors. All of that's gone, so you've seen none of that. And what else have we got? Fitting the boost gauge, because it wasn't working before, now it does. Again, that's gone. I also fit the front bumper, that's gone. So as and when those parts pop up in sequence, I'll let you in, or fill you in, so that you know that I did do it. I did film it, but I deleted it. Sorry guys. Okay, so now we're going to have another look at the rear headlight level sensor, as the one that's on the car currently, the arm has snapped. So we're going to take the assembly off, as we've got a new sensor from a previous video that I showed you guys from Febby Bilstein parts. So we'll get that swapped, get the mechanics and the assembly all cleaned up and lubricated, so it's actually going to work. It's pointless buying used parts when I've got used parts on the car, and I'm not paying brand new prices, because that's just ridiculous. I can make this work, so let's get on with that. Oil change, spark plug change, and the oil filter needs to be swapped just to get it running as tip-top condition as we can. But other than that, I think that's all that it needs, bar the welding, which is going to get done at a friend of mine's garage. He's going to weld some plates in at the rear arches for me. Pre-MOT, have a quick look around it, see if he can find anything that's going to fail on prior to actually testing it. So that's going to help us out massively. And that should be it. So once that's all done, I need to service the gearbox and the hull deck system, which is the differential at the rear of the vehicle, when it's on the ramp whilst the welding's being done. So I'll get that done as well, with it being in the air, so it's far easier. On the top of the engine, I can't see anything. I can't even see the turbo. So I'm going to have to go in from underneath. Taking the cam belt cover off to check if the pulleys are wet, because if the pulleys are wet, it might mean that the main
crankshaft seal has failed, thus letting oil out through the bottom pulley. Now there does seem to be a small deposit at the very bottom of the casing around the cam belt. It doesn't actually look like it's on the belt or the pulleys, which is good news, but it does mean we still don't know where it's coming from.
Solved. So before I take the oil return pipe off, I need to drain the oil, take the filter out, and the sparks can come after. So I'm going to drain the oil now, take the filter off, put the new filter on, and then start looking at the oil return feed. I've got a suspicion that the pipe's corroded because I've done a bit of research. Half the pipe is stainless steel. Then there's a braided hose part that goes to the lower end. The lower end's made out of steel and it's painted. So I've got a suspicion that that's cracked, just like the power steering pipe. So let's have a look. Okay. Okay, so we've got our replacement filter here. Old one's in the bin. So before you start, or before you put it back on, you want to put some oil in there to save any air locks or air getting into the system as such, and run a little bit of oil around the seal so that it goes back on with a nice snug fit. So that's what I'm going to do first. You see this. That, and then a little bit in there. Just like that. Can go back in there. So now we've got a bit of a oil around there. There's oil in there as well. Then we're going to fit it back on the car.
So I lost some footage where I was actually taking off the oil filter and putting the new one on. So now we're going to start taking off the coil packs to get to the spark plugs, so we could change those and put some new ones in.
There's the float. Chamber 1, 2, 3, 4 in order. So it looks like, oops. So that side on the left looks a bit deposited. It looks a bit grim. Let's throw the new ones in. Okay, so that video there has just shown you that the car is in fact leaking oil from the head gasket. If you look at the video closely, it starts to bubble a little bit at the top of the block. So in some way or fashion, it is in fact leaking from the head gasket, which has left me in a position now where I'm just going to send this car to MOT as it is. So I'm going to do the bits that I need to do, i.e. the welding, to get it to pass. But if anything big comes back, as well as the head gasket that we know needs changing now, there's no point in changing the cam belt because you might as well swap that once the head's done. I just want to see if anything else comes back that we also need to tackle, as well as the head gasket, basically. So get it through its MOT. Worry about it after that. Now, it's not, to our knowledge, it doesn't affect the running of the vehicle. We've had it up to temperature, the fans kick in, nothing overheats, there's no oil deposits in the coolant tank, so all of that's fine. So I think it is just a little leak from the oil channels in the block to the head, basically. So that's what we're going to go and do with that. Nightmare, but didn't pay anything for the car, did we? So can't argue. That's for the future. That's for the next chain of events. Thanks again for tuning in, guys. Thank you for all your support, messages, comments. But again, please share this with everyone that you know. Let's get some more subscribers. More subscribers means more parts, more builds, more excitement. And I enjoy doing this stuff. I can do it in my sleep. I love it. So, subscribe, people. Thank you. See you next time.